corner. You can sit down, put your feet up on the corner of the bed and get comfortable. And then I added a little bit of a workspace here for them as well.
Right, but a desk that's not too big.
Right, and it's white, which helps it to recede into the space. But by contrast, this is Jeff's grandfather's chair, and it's really special.
Wow, an antique in the room.
Right. And then as we leave, you can just see I used some vintage garden stools for side tables. They add a little bit of color and a nice, interesting contrast and texture.
Yeah, good idea.
As we walk through this doorway, we're coming into the master suite, and this is really where we are entering their private space. So I asked Andy to build this bookshelf. It's a nice place for them to put some of their special treasures.
Yeah, so they have wedding pictures and perhaps some driftwood they picked up out on the beach.
Right. And then as we come into the master bath, we've mirrored that shelf with this unit as well, and we just added some baskets, which makes it a little more storage friendly.
Good storage. Now, 2 separate vanities.
From a functional standpoint, that's ideal. It's nice to have your own sink. But also from an aesthetic, it really is very spa-like, and that was the direction we were headed.
Right, nice stone countertop. And the cabinet itself is very simple.
It has a lot of storage, though.
Look at that doors. That's cool doors.
And now they also wanted a soaking tub.
Right, that was very important to Michelle from the beginning. So we found her something
There's
nice
your
and
tub,
deep, and then we were able to find this beautiful hardware that has a little bit of an Asian feel to it, and they really like that aesthetic.
Right, definitely brings in the feel of the
She's
spa.
the decorator. She designed and decorated most of
When I
this
talked
house.
to Michelle about her vision for this space, the first thing she did was hand me a
There's
mussel
the
shell that she
master
had picked up on the
bedroom.
beach. And if you think about the palette of a mussel shell, it starts
Master-
with black
the
and then
master
transitions
bedroom.
through all the purple family and goes into an
The
opalescent
other
white
bedroom
color.
is
So
the
there's a whole
guest
range of
bedroom.
colors.
Exactly.
And it looks like you headed towards the purple with this wall right here. I mean, that is very bold.
Wow.
We've seen that color before, and it can be overwhelming.
It
Something
can
like
be in a vacuum. This color is very strong, but we've toned it down with adding a nice piece of artwork. For example, Jillian Clark, who's my assistant, is a graduate of Rhode Island School of Design, and she painted that piece exactly for that
Wow,
space.
seems very appropriate.
It is.
Now the headboard and footboard are oak, a little bit darker wood.
Right, and this is something that the homeowners brought from their last home, and I added this bedspread, which has a little bit of a cottage feel, and it's very light in color, so it makes the room more spacious.
Right. You know, whenever you have a nook or a little recess in a room, that can always be difficult to deal with.
It can be, so I used it for a boutique hotel moment. I put in a nice comfortable chair here, and then above it, I just hung a mirror that really serves 2 purposes. It's a nice reflection of the view across the way, and then the molding really has the feeling that it's the inside of a shell.
Right, you see that silver on seashells. Now, the best feature that's added into the bedroom is this deck. It's big.
It adds a ton of extra living
An,
space.
an
And on a
indoor
clear day, you can
deck.
see all the way across
That's
the bay.
kind of what I was
So
going
I'd be up
for in the
here every
game, an
morning
indoor
with a cup of
deck.
coffee and a newspaper, and in the evening, I'd be watching the great sunsets.
Exactly,
Look
me
at
too.
those
Nice job.
windows.
Thank you.
Coming up next,
This half wall gave us the perfect place to mount the television so that we could sit here on the sofa, look at the TV, and still enjoy the view.
Which is the first floor, and appropriately it starts with our new entryway.
My very favorite thing about the entryway is the floor. It's blue stone tile.
Yeah.
It looks like pebbles found on the beach, but it's still a hard functional floor.
well, there are actually going to be a lot of wet shoes on this floor. So for them, you guys built a bank of cubbies.
It's great storage, but it also adds a nice little architectural element.
All right. Well, cubbies in the entryway, but also cubbies as soon as you enter the house. Now, this is sort of a new addition, right?
Yes, this half wall needed to be here in order to really floor plan the main
Half
space
wall is like-
properly. So
half
we
wall
took
is like
advantage
what I
of it
use in
and
the
we built
game.
cubbies, and I asked Andy to paint a nice strong
Which
red
that's
color in the back
shorter
to help
half
highlight
walls
some of
than
their
I
art
use in
pieces.
the game.
And homeowners do have strong taste in art, right? We see another piece of it displayed right here on another sort of half wall. And this was important because it sort of
It's ironic
sections
how
off a
these
seating
half
area
walls
for the
in a
TV.
game.
So we've taken the wide open floor plan and we've choked it down just a little bit.
Yeah, it's nice to have a little bit of a waste space, and this half wall gave us the perfect place to mount the television so that we could sit here on the sofa, look at the TV, and still enjoy the view.
Because in this house, you never want to lose view of the ocean, do you?
Exactly.
Well, as we head to the back of the house, we have got ourselves a half bath to one side and the laundry room to the other. There's always been a laundry room here, but the last one was sort of dark and brown, and now we're talking lots of white, clean, very crisp colors in here.
Yep, there's great storage, there's plenty of workspace, a beautiful but very functional ceramic tile floor, and then hooks here where you can hang beach bags, towels, coats, whatever you need.
In this house, you can't have enough beach bags, right? Now, when I said the main event, this is actually what I was talking about right here. And this is where you see the wide open floor
sitting on
plan.
the beach in
And
Rhode
it's really
Island.
3 rooms in one. We've got the kitchen in
Ooh,
one
look
corner,
at that,
the
Peggy.
dining
Look at
area in the
that,
second
Peggy.
corner,
Look at
and
that,
then the
Peggy.
family room.
Right. This is where the main entertaining will happen, and so obviously we wanted to floor plan it in a way where you could really enjoy the view to its best advantage.
Yeah.
The sofa is here and you look straight out onto the best view in the house.
The ocean.
And then there's also another pair here of quirky little deco chairs that have an equally beautiful view.
The ocean again, at least during the day. We know that at night these windows are going to go dark. So here in the corner, we've got ourselves a gas fireplace, a little punch of interest, pretty much for this entire first floor, including a dining area. And for you, where does the dining area actually start?
I think it starts here with this painted cabinet. It has a little bit of red in it, which is balanced by the artwork on the opposing wall.
Flanked on either side by our new sconces, some of the light fixtures that we added to the house, including this one, I guess, the chandelier I would call it. And our lighting designer said that this was her favorite fixture in the entire house.
I love it. It's a unique combination of being both modern and organic at the same time.
So it's unanimous, right?
Yes.
All right. And then we've got the boldest wall in the house. And I got to tell you, when it was just this stone tile, we were all kind of scratching our heads saying, what's going on here? But now that you see it as the background for all this artwork, I gotta say, it works.
Yeah, if you remember back to when we were in my office and I was showing you pictures of what they were hoping the project would turn out to be, there was a lot of exposed brick and stone, and this was an opportunity for me to give them that look.
I remember the pictures, but I don't remember seeing any tiki towers. But now we've got them, right? We've actually got some bold furniture in here.
Yep, I think that the stone wall really helps to temper all of that and create a nice little vignette. And then you have this really strong, beautiful art piece. It's a very good example of how you can take something non-traditional and frame it and create two-dimensional art.
Well, I'll tell you what, for me, I'm glad we're working with you again. It has been 5 months of a lot of work, but I gotta say, it turned out fantastic. Congratulations.
It's my pleasure.
Thank you. Well, the opinions that really matter are Jeff's and yours, Michelle. And now that you're standing in your new kitchen, in your new house, what do you think?
I love it. It's open, it's functional, and it's gorgeous.
And it is so much different than it was 6 months ago when I walked through that door to meet you for the first time.
Yes, it
and
is.
into a narrow kitchen with a wall right here obstructing all of these views. And it was dated, you said, by about 40 years.
It needed a little updating.
So we had wood paneling for the backsplashes,
Before
we had
the-
laminate countertops, we had appliances that
Before
were
the
ancient.
upgrade
They all had to
or
go, and now they're
remodel.
Oh, it's fantastic.
This is
I have
after
a couple
the
favorite
upgrade or
parts of
remodel.
the kitchen. I love the cherry
This
cabinets,
is after
especially
the
the
remodel.
veneer, which
The
reminds
other-
me of
the other
tidal
was
pools
before the
with ebbs
remodel.
and flows and eddies and currents. And I also love the soapstone countertops, which are very, very natural and yet so dramatic. And this sea green veining is just so beautiful, and there's so much movement.
Well, they can look beautiful, but we've got to work in this kitchen too. So we've got ourselves a deep stainless steel sink, and all the appliances were actually chosen by Jeff, your husband, right? Because he's the chef.
Jeff does a lot of research on the internet before he picks a product, and he looked for very reliable,
gas
functional,
stove.
and yet very sleek and modern.
Well, I think those are great words to describe your house, and to them I would add beautiful, thanks largely in part to you, Andy, and all of your guys. We gave you a lot to do in a very short time, and I think this is the time to say congratulations, job well done.
Well, thank you very much. We are really proud of how it came out, and it is phenomenal. But thanks to Jeff and Michelle for being great customers. Thanks to my crew and all of my subcontractors. It really came out fantastic. And to this old house crew, we enjoyed working with you so much.
It's been a lot of fun for us too, and our privilege. So, for Richard, for Norm, for all of the guys on this old house, we are signing off from our project here in Barrington, Rhode Island. So, what do you say we have ourselves a party?